Welcome to Thursday's Market SITREP here at Top Gun Options. Matthew Buckley, my call sign is Wiz. Man, I don't even know where to start. I mean, what a bizarro day yesterday, and it's kind of not necessarily fully transferring over to today, but market's selling. It's very interesting why the market is down today. Obviously, the Dow's down, triple digits, S&P's down, now everything's down right now. Broad sell-off this morning, and here's what analysts in the 500 pounds are saying, especially in technology, except for Amazon. Amazon announcing 100,000 jobs here, make America great again. But technology's down, financials are down. Why? Because yesterday, in his first press conference in a long time, it turned into a mud-throwing exercise between the president-elect and CNN. Just an absolute disgusting display of non-civility and craziness. I've never seen anything like this. But here's what the 500 pounds are saying this morning. Well, he didn't talk about tax policy yesterday. He didn't talk about everything being phenomenal, and so banks are pulling back because he didn't talk about pulling back on regulation or tax cuts, or his policies were unclear. Folks, it's not like he forgot about all that stuff, and the Trump bump, the Trump rally that we got because he said he's going to do all this stuff didn't get mentioned yesterday. It's ridiculous. This is purely a reason to take some profits and to sell off. This is an absolute buying opportunity. We're going to talk at 1 o'clock in our primary live trade brief about getting back into Goldman Sachs, even loading up more, especially after it got downgraded the other day by Citi, by a fellow bank. Oh, geez, that's shocking. So the stock's down on an absolute never before seen press conference. If you're lost as to what happened yesterday, apparently some Democrats hired a former British spy from MI6 to come up with anti-Trump stuff last year. He came up with allegations. I mean, there's no proof to any of this. Gave it to the Democrats. Somehow John McCain got a hand of this, who's a Republican, shocker, and gave it to the FBI. Now, these salacious allegations, which I won't even mention, made it into the media months ago, even before the election. Every news organization decided it was so ridiculous that they didn't even report it. Well, for some reason yesterday, BuzzFeed, a completely off-the-charts left-wing news organization, decided to publish the entire 35-page report. And then what did CNN do? Well, they reported it, so we can. And then it just spirals out of control. During his news conference, CNN's, whatever his name was, Jim Acosta tries to answer a question, and Trump's like, sit down. I'm not even going to answer any more questions from CNN. You guys are fake news. He's exactly right. And then, in respect, Jim Acosta, of course, talking to the president-elect, starts yelling at him. Just awful, folks. So I can see how the markets like stability. We like tax cuts. We love less regulations. We love all that stuff. We love everything that Trump stands for in financial markets. I'm not going to go anywhere else. So, of course, the market's going to be a little bit down today. But even Chuck Schumer said, Trump's kind of little battle with the intelligence agencies, you don't want to mess with the intelligence agencies. What the hell is this, 1984? Chuck Schumer, Democrats, saying, hey, our intelligence agencies are pretty powerful and they'll take you down? Jesus Christ, folks, what country are we living in? So actually, this morning, the president-elect said James Clapper, the head of, DNI, Director of National Intelligence, actually called him and said, hey, those things are completely wrong. We are so sorry. Here's what's happening, folks. Long-term career employees of these intelligence agencies, they're mostly liberal. They're in the federal government union. They feel cushy and safe in their job. I hope Trump comes in and fires all of them and completely cleans house, because somebody leaked this crap to even make his presidency seem less. Now, if you're sitting here going on, okay, this is minute 3 of his rant, what's this have to do with stocks? Take a look at the freaking market, folks. I love when members sometimes cancel. They're like, Wiz, I can't take your politics. Then leave. If you don't think that politics drives the market, look at today, folks. The Dow's down triple digits because of a press conference yesterday where he didn't talk about tax cuts and financials, deregulation, everything. Get a clue, folks. If you don't think that politics drives the markets, you're a fool, and you should not be investing. All right, rant complete. Apple planning to build a significant new business. You ready? to compete with Hollywood. So guess what? Netflix, all these guys, Amazon, original content. Here comes Apple. A little late, in my opinion. This stuff has been going on. The Netflix phenomenon has been going on for years. Apple, a little late to the party, in my opinion, doing a little bit of a, hey, us too, here we come. So we'll talk about this at 1 o'clock as well in the live trade brief. But, folks, this is a, the S&P is at the low of the day. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I mean, we're below the lows of the days, but bouncing around a little bit here. This is a reason to buy. This is not a reason to sell, folks. I get it was an absolute shit show yesterday. It was a disgrace for our democracy. It's a disgrace to the intelligence agencies. But I'm telling you, I've worked with intelligence agencies, and they aren't. It all ain't, 24, whatever that actor's name is, okay, Jack Ryan or all that stuff. When you got career folks who live out in the suburbs of Washington and cause all the traffic and sit on the Beltway every day and go into work, those ain't necessarily people from Kansas, right-leaning folks. They get involved in Washington, and they like their comfort zone. And Trump coming in to shake all this stuff up, I can't believe they shot this thing out of the blue, a disgusting and unsubstantiated report. If you ever watch CNN again, you're not allowed to be a member of Top Gun Options. I'm not kidding, folks. That was awful. And CNN scrambled last night. It scrambled this morning to say, well, we just reported on that reporting. No, they didn't. They're trying to backtrack and save what little shred of dignity that they have left as a news organization. Awful day in our nation's history. It's disgusting. At least today we got General Mattis and Dr. What's his name up for confirmation. Maybe we can pull this out here. But what a crazy day yesterday. And the head of the DNI calling the president-elect to apologize, to denounce the false and fictitious report that was illegally circulated. I mean, is this really what's going to happen going forward? We're going to talk about get long volatility. I have a couple positions on VXX, but look at the VIX today, up 11%. I told you 2 weeks ago when the VIX was down here at 10, there was a 10 in front of that decimal point. I said, folks, buy that thing with both hands. And if you did, you made a lot of money. Look at this. When we were 10 and then boom. Oops, let me zoom this in a little bit. This is fun. I mean, it's not fun as an American, folks, but this is just so down here with this 10 print, look at this. That is a massive pop. And if you think this is going to be peace, love, and understanding going into the inauguration, you're nuts. I would be buying vol here through the inauguration. Get your hedges on because it's going to get a little ugly before it gets better. I know he said it's a buying opportunity. Well, Wiz, if it's going to get uglier, why would we buy today? Because you can't pick a bottom. If you knew that this little sell-off post, in between Christmas and New Year's was the bottom, then you should have bought. If you're that person, your call sign is Nostradamus. I'm not. Could we go lower here? Of course we could. We could sell off into the inauguration and then get the bounce if nothing bad happens. We're going to talk about today how anarchists are trying to make the inauguration an absolute day of, I'm not going to say day of blood because that's what ISIS said. So now people in our country, anarchists, are actually using ISIS terminology. We're going to make the inauguration, the worst thing our country's ever seen. So buckle up, folks. But remember, the markets have the attention span of a tsetse fly and a news anchor, about 30 seconds, and a second grader. So months from now, we're going to look back kind of like the election here, kind of like this Fed meeting, kind of like the Brexit, and go, oh, yeah, I remember those events, and now we're up here at, S&P 3000. So let's go. I'm fired up. It's 2017. I'm almost over this crud. I'm still going to power through the primary live tri brief at 1. A lot to talk about. We're in interesting times, folks. So I look forward to seeing my members at 1 o'clock. So have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back with tomorrow's Friday market wrap up for my non-members.